Because you decided to watch this video, you've likely reached your threshold. For some reason or another, a sequence of events has occurred and now you've decided something has to change. It may have been that you've encountered an opportunity and you've decided, okay, I really need to lock in for this because I want to make sure that I make the best out of this opportunity. Or maybe you've experienced a setback and you've realized, okay, I really need to lock in because, I can't keep going on this downhill slope. I need to bounce back and go to a better place than I've ever been. But whatever the reason is, I'm grateful you've decided to watch a video like this because a lot of other people, the majority of people out there, they have these problems and they'll reach this threshold. They'll be frustrated with their situation in life, but they won't do anything about it. They'll just continue to do the things like scroll on social media, watching mindless content, or just distracting themselves. But you're watching this video, so I'm very grateful you decided to take action in the step towards creating a better life for yourself. I'm Neal, I'm 21 years old, and for the longest time, I've been obsessed with how do I actually go about improving the quality of my life. And over the time, I've done some things, tried some things out, found some answers, and I want to share the advice with you so hopefully you can improve way faster than I did. When it comes to locking in, basically it's this idea of, okay, I'm just going to get rid of all these other distractions, focus on a few things so I can actually make progress and, do the things that I need to. Because a lot of people already understand, okay, if I'm doing and being distracted by all these different things, like if I'm, spending some time with these people, or if I'm, on my phone all the time, just like scrolling social media or playing video games or whatever, it's taking time, it's taking energy away from the things that I really need to be doing. And a lot of us will have this awareness, but we won't do anything about it. So the first step, if you're trying to lock in, is you need to get rid of all of the distractions. I don't just mean like a few of the ones that, you kind of just want to and are kind of convenient to get rid of. I mean all of the distractions. This can be video games. This could be your addiction to scrolling social media. It could be doing drugs. It could be hanging around with the wrong crowd. Whatever it is, you know what it is in your life. You need to get rid of it. The problem that I faced for a while is that I just want to get rid of some of the things that were convenient. Like, oh yeah, I can, delete Instagram and, just like not be on Instagram or like social media for a while. But then I would keep video games. I still wasn't able to focus and lock in at the necessary amount that I needed to. It's so pivotal that you get rid of all of these distractions. In terms of how to practically do this, my general advice is just to make it almost impossible for you to get back into that habit. So if it's video games, if you have a console and you sell your console or, you unplug it and put it in the attic or the basement, just make it super hard for you to go back and play those video games. Okay, now it's very easy to, lock in and not go back to it. Or if social media, if you have the apps on your phone, Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you just go on your phone, delete those apps. And now it's much harder to go back and be addicted to that. What I did even my beginning stages, I just deleted my Instagram account because I knew that even if I deleted the app, I could still go back and, re-download and essentially just be back to where I was. But if I deleted my account, that was an extra step that made things a lot easier. You may not want to do this. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it's certainly something I think has helped me. Now, after you remove these distractions, these things that are kind of fun and stimulating to do, but it's not giving you any beneficial return on your life, it's not really helping you to improve. It's not really getting you to a higher place in life. Once you've gotten rid of these, you're going to experience this vacuum in time and energy where it's you have all this free time, you have all this free energy that you otherwise would have used on these things, these distractions, but now you're just free to do whatever. And it can be exciting, but it's very scary at the same time because now you're feeling really anxious. It's oh my gosh, I just don't have anything to do, and you start getting really bored, all of these things. What's critical that you do is that you fill this time with productive activities. Essentially, what we're trying to do is rewire your brain to, instead of being addicted to all these things that really don't give you any benefit, just scrolling social media, playing video games, which, after you're done, after you spend all this time and energy, you get pretty much nothing in return. We're trying to get you from being addicted to these things to now being addicted to the productive things. So this could be things like reading books, meditation, getting a good amount of sleep, just whatever it is, working on your business, improving your physique, we're trying to get you addicted to these things. Because if you're anything like me, you have an addictive personality. For me, I've noticed that I just become obsessed with the things that I'm interested in. Like when I was playing video games, I couldn't just like play a video game and kind of want to do it, like just like play 1 hour like a lot of people say that they can. I was never able to do that. I was never able to play just like 1 hour a day video games. I become obsessed with the things that, I'm focusing on. So instead of like just doing it for 1 hour, I'd play for like 6 hours every single day, even if I would try to like minimize that. Or if it's on social media, I would say to myself, okay, I'm only going to be here on for 15 minutes or something. But then I just like get hooked in and I'd be on there for like 2 hours or more. I noticed that like in myself, I don't have like that level of self-control. So instead of trying to, just limit those things, instead I just changed what I was addicted to. And by being addicted to these more productive things, I was able to actually get a benefit from like what I was doing. This is essentially all it takes to lock in. It's just taking your focus from doing these distractions, these things that don't actually help you, and putting that time and energy into things that actually do benefit you. Like some people think that I'm really disciplined and like I do like all this hard work and, it's really hard, whatever. But the truth is, I've gotten to the point, because I've gotten rid of those distractions and just got addicted to this, that it's not really hard work. It's not really like discipline in the way that a lot of people think of it, where it's like really hard and grueling and, it's really mentally taxing, whatever. It's just become the thing that I've conditioned myself to enjoy. It's the thing that I've conditioned myself to be addicted to. Now, if you follow my advice and you get rid of these distracting things that are taking away your energy and time, but not giving you a benefit, and then switch it over to doing these good habits like reading or studying or, working on your business, improving your physique, improving your communication skills, whatever it is that you're trying to improve, whatever it is, the reason that got you to want to lock into the first place. Once you start focusing on these things, what's going to happen, and I'm just telling you so you can be aware, there's going to be this time where you want to go back to those old addictions, those old things like, playing video games, scrolling on social media and like blah, 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 hanging out with the wrong crowd. You're going to have these urges. The thing that will help you the most is that when you go back to these things, like, cause it's going to happen where, you slip up and, you re-download a video game, or you go over to a friend's house, you start playing video games, or you re-download the app and start scrolling on social media or whatever. What you don't do is beat yourself up. What you don't do is say to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. I just messed up. I can't lock in. I'm not disciplined, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of people think that that's helping them, because the idea is, okay, if I feel really bad about myself for doing the bad thing that I didn't want to do, then I'll be more motivated to do the thing that I do want to do. But it's actually the exact opposite, because by giving yourself that extra added pressure and anxiety, for a lot of people, it just makes them want to stay where they are more. Like, I give this example of, imagine yourself being a toddler and you're just trying to learn to walk. If there's a toddler just trying to learn to walk and, right now what he's used to is like crawling around, but now he's trying to make the transition to walking, it's just going to take time. Like he's going to try to walk and whatever, and he's going to maybe fall and then, stick to crawling for a little bit. And then he's going to try and walk again. And, he's going to do a little bit better next time. Then he's going to go back to crawling and then, go back to walking, whatever. If you keep terrorizing this toddler essentially and yelling at it every time that it falls over and, messes up a little bit, it's going to be harder, you can imagine psychologically, for that baby to want to go and walk again. And it's the same thing for you. If you just give yourself grace and allow yourself to make those mistakes, but instead of beating yourself up and, creating this mental headache for yourself, just quietly, okay, understand, okay, this is the reason, this is the thing that I should avoid. Okay, let me just go back to doing the right thing. Oh, well, some friend invited me over and I go out to play video games with him. Okay, let me just refocus back on locking in and doing these good habits. Or, I scroll on social media because, I was just feeling really stressed out this one day, or I was overeating, or maybe I watched porn and jack off. Okay, I'm not going to beat myself up for this. I'm just going to go back to doing these good habits. And by constantly doing this, you're conditioning yourself to become more acquainted with these harder but more beneficial habits that actually give you a return on investment in terms of your time and energy. Over time, as you do this more and more, as you keep getting yourself, like catching yourself wanting to do these bad things that don't actually benefit you, to then putting your time and energy into things that actually do benefit you, you're going to become more and more used to it. It's called conditioning. You're just going to be more conditioned to do these things. And it's become to the point where now for a lot of things, it's hard for me to it's genuinely hard for me to go back to some of those like bad addicting habits that didn't give me any result. Like, for example, when it comes to video games, before it was very hard for me because, I had a lot of like friends and like we'd just play video games like online, like after school or whatnot. Or, I'd have some app on my phone because I'd like be watching a YouTuber or something and like they would play this game and I wanted to play this game. And, it's just like this really fun thing. And when I tried to stop and like get myself away from, the video games, I would keep getting called back because, this new thing, like if it was reading books or meditating or I don't know, like working out, sometimes I would get bored with these things. Sometimes I was like, I don't want to do this. I feel too tired. Let me go back to playing video games. But after, some time and, just getting used to bringing myself back to wanting and like trying to convince myself that I want to do these things, because I didn't want to do these things, but I just didn't want to put in the effort. But I did like want the result from what that effort was. So like, I just had to stick with it for a while. But after a certain amount of time, it genuinely just became hard to play video games. It kind of felt weird. It's just like, oh, what if I play video games? Like, it just seems like so stupid and like time wasting. Or like if I were to catch myself playing social media, like as soon as I get the thought, oh my gosh, like I'm just been scrolling, like I go immediately back to, doing those more productive things. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm being a retard right now. Let me not say that. Like if you've been used to eating junk food and that's been something that you thought really tasted good and healthy food is it's disgusting, whatever. But then, you go through this fitness transformation where you go from eating these bad foods to these more healthy foods. Over time, eventually, you're going to start really liking these healthy foods. And those same junk foods really like genuinely start tasting bad to you. Like I genuinely cannot get myself to eat a certain amount of junk food because I just like start feeling sick. I genuinely can't play the same amount of video games that I might have before because my mind will just start to yell at me to get back to doing the more productive things. Like it actually feels painful to play video games and scroll social media and like do all these bad habits. And that's actually a good thing because it helps me to focus and lock in on the things that will actually give me a benefit in life. From my perspective, if you're going to be addicted to something anyway, you might as well be addicted to something that actually gives you a benefit. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather be addicted to working out and improving my physique rather than playing video games, because if I improve my physique, I'm still leveling up, but I'm actually like leveling up in a way that benefits me outside of like the virtual world. And, it gives me more confidence. It gives me more success with girls and, it gets me more respect from the other people who are around me. Instead of scrolling social media, I'd rather spend that time reading books, because by reading books, I'll learn things that actually, improve my life way more, and I'll start to think differently and I'll start to improve way faster. I'd rather be recording videos like this instead of doing something like, watching porn and jacking off, because by recording videos like this, I can feel more purposeful and feel like I'm actually contributing to society in some way. Basically, all you need to take away from this video is to eliminate as many distractions as possible, especially that thing that you're thinking about that you're like, oh, well, I'll get rid of all of these things, but I'm going to just keep this one thing because I really enjoy it. By getting rid of everything, especially that thing, you're going to be able to make so much more progress. And after eliminating those things, you start to implement those good things, those things that'll actually get you a return, give you a benefit for the time and energy that you spend. By just making that transition, it's going to take a while because, it's going to be different. You're going from that stage of, just like crawling around to now being able to stand up and walk on 2 feet. It's going to take some time. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but I promise you, once you get through that conditioning, it's just going to become automatic. Like the benefits that you start getting in your life are going to be automatic, and people are going to think you're disciplined. People are going to think you're like so high level for being able to get yourself to do this. But for you, it's just going to be like this automatic thing that just comes to you because you've taken the time to get yourself out of these things that don't help you, don't serve you in any way, and getting yourself to do those things that actually do serve and benefit your life. Hope you got some value from this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Peace out.